everyone, and welcome back to Anxious Beauty. I have missed you all. I've been away for a while. I'm on here to kind of give you a shortened version of what's been going on in my life and why I've been gone for a while. This video is not sponsored in any way, obviously. Before I forget, we get into this here. This is the outfit of the day. It's evening time here, so it's just a flannel or plaid, top with a green tank top and pajama bottoms. Anyways, before I get into this, I am just gonna say that I'm gonna try to give you guys like the shortened version of everything that's been going on for several months, that's been accumulating kind of for like several years with this situation that's going on. We'll get into more of that here in a minute. I am going to leave names of hospitals and doctors and nursing staffs out just because I want people to have their privacy. I try to keep things lighthearted on my channel. I kind of think of this as a way for people to kind of go and just focus on something else, myself included, for a couple minutes to 20 minutes, half hour or so that I do makeup on here. Just as a way for people to kind of, I don't want to say escape the outside world, but just focus on something else for a while, that maybe something hard is going on in their life, or even myself. But I do want to tell you guys kind of about why I've been gone and what's going on here. So I'm going to try to do this without getting too upset and crying, because some of this is still pretty fresh yet. Yeah, I think we're just going to jump into it. Let me take a drink of my water here. I missed you guys, though. It's been a while. And we will get back into makeup here eventually. I just wanted to tell you guys kind of what's going on. I know I keep saying, guys, you know, no video today on like where I can write to you guys, like, and you can see it. I know I keep saying that, and it may sound like an excuse after an excuse, but it is not. My family, these past couple months, several months I should say, have been hit like extremely hard with just things back to back to back, and it's just like this short time window of things are going smoothly, and then things happen, and I get in life things happen. It's just, it feels like it's one thing after another with barely any breaks in between, if that makes sense. Okay, so kind of going back, I'm doing the math in my brain here, about 3 years ago. My father-in-law, well, first he rolled his ankle, like he does lawn care of my husband. He did, I should say, excuse me, he did. He stepped in a hole that was in somebody's yard and kind of like rolled his ankle. Okay? And he didn't break anything, but, you know, it kind of hurt a little bit. Okay? Well, it never, like, his ankle never swelled, didn't think too much of it. Several months later, he noticed a little spot, and it was like super tiny, on the back of his leg, kind of up from where his ankle is on the back, where it was just kind of itchy, and it was kind of weird. He put lotion on it, didn't think nothing of it. Life goes on. Around Thanksgiving time, he noticed there was pain there, and there was a spot, and it was a little spot. And it was like an open sore. And he's not diabetic, in case anybody's wondering. But anyway, not diabetic, just want to get that out there. There was a spot back there, and he kind of treated it at home as best as he could, and the spot kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, till finally he's like, something's up. So he went to his normal doctor, and they said, I'm not sure exactly what this is, but it looks like an ulcer. I can't remember the name of his ulcer right now, and I'm not good with dates right now either, guys, so please excuse me. I'm going to give you like months, okay? So anyways, they said, I think it's an ulcer. I want to get you into wound care at a facility, and they can kind of go from there. Okay. So by this point, it's pretty decent size. because, you know, things take time to get appointments. You got to get in. So it's not just like the next day type thing, if that makes sense. Sometimes it takes months. He gets in there, finds out it's an ulcer, and they're treating it. They did a whole bunch of things to it. And he went in there for several weeks, and they had it almost gone, and they sent him home and said, okay, you're good. It's a whole story within itself, but we won't get into that on here. Anyways, about a week to 2 weeks later, he called them and said it's back, and it's bigger than ever. Like, it was almost gone, and now it's back. You guys didn't get rid of it. Okay. Goes back in once again. Takes weeks to get back in, and they treat it again, and he goes in a few more times, and they say, well, we have to let you go eventually. It was almost gone, and they sent him home again. So that was really frustrating. He tried to treat it at home for a little bit, and finally he called or talked to his regular doctor about it. And he said, you know, nothing I'm doing is working. Wound care just doesn't want to see me anymore. So she said, I'm going to get you in touch with like a specialist at the hospital that you can go to and kind of see what's going on there. Went in there, okay, did a whole bunch of tests, like down here, so like from the waist down, okay? And this is couple years of this, guys. Finally, one doctor in the vascular unit, won't tell you what hospital, obviously for privacy reasons, said, I want to take a scan of up here. Nobody had done that yet. But anyways, they wanted to see what was going up here. Okay, good. Because they said that wound is just not closing up and it's draining a lot. And it is painful, guys. Like, he no longer works at this point. He can barely drive. Like, it is painful. Okay? Like, he can barely walk. Take a scan. I believe it was like a CT scan or some type of scan up here. And they found a aneurysm. And I can't remember the name of it, guys. My brain's shut off. But it was about right here, okay? And they said, you have an aneurysm. This is after a few years. And I don't know if anybody here is familiar with aneurysms, but they could bust at any time, like explode. And you have a couple of blockages. You have one above the aneurysm, you have one below the aneurysm, and then you have one in each leg, which explains the ulcer. Okay. So this is last year when we finally found out this information, and they say, we got to schedule you for surgery. We got to get that taken care of. Because the doctor said, I'm not sure this is going to cure your ulcer, but let's focus on this. Like, let's repair the aneurysm, get rid of these blockages the best we can, and we'll go from there and see how your leg's doing. Okay, that's fair. Because that's a pretty big deal. They said this is a big surgery. All right. Come October, my husband's aunt had passed away. And amidst of all of this, we had to help take care of my husband's grandma. She had congestive heart failure. And we eventually had a nurse that... so for the longest time, she had a night nurse staying with her. She was legally blind. Or blind. I mean, I can't remember. She had degenerative eye disease. So, she's essentially blind. But anyway, she got along pretty good most of her life. Before her husband got too bad couple of years ago, he took her places, did the errands. She would cook. But, like, you know, he kind of did the errands until he got bad and then had to go to a nursing home for a little while and pass away. So then it kind of moved to my father-in-law that was doing that. Well, my father-in-law's leg got so bad that he just could not travel far. Like, could not travel far at all. So then it became kind of like we helped take care of her along with, you know, aunts, uncles, and cousins. We helped do that. a lot of the times we had the night nurse go from night to, or part-time to like full-time, so she was there during the day too because she had congestive heart failure. But they said her heart wasn't giving her too many problems up until a couple months before November, okay? So I'm backtracking a little bit. So with the help of aunts, uncles, cousins, us, we helped take care of her, and the nurse was staying with her before she moved to full-time. I'm sorry, I jumped ahead a little bit. Now I gotta backtrack. My husband took her in for an appointment, and they said, you know, you had a little bit of like swelling. Come back after you take this medicine for so many weeks and then come back and see us. Okay. Came back and her labs came back and said, ooh, you got to go into the hospital. Like you got all this water weight on you that we need to get rid of and it's putting pressure on your heart. Got to go in and get that checked out. Okay. So he took her into the hospital. They admitted her to the hospital and said, you know, you do have congestive heart failure. Okay. She was steadily going downhill for a while, or for a long while. It got to the point where she was kind of, like, she was mobile beforehand, but then she got to be, like, just chair bound. And then it got to be where she had, they sent her home on hospice. Now, sometimes people think hospice, and that automatically means, like, it's the end of life, like right then it's going to be soon. That's not necessarily the case. Sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes years, but we made the nighttime nurse a full-time nurse over there, and then once again help of aunts, uncles, cousins, us. We did a lot of errands for her and my father-in-law and my husband's stepmom too, and then she just got bedridden. And then she passed away in November. So that was that. So my husband lost his aunt in October and his grandma in November. They tell us in like November, I want to say, that for my father-in-law, you can have surgery in January. Or, yeah, I believe it was January. Okay. January comes around and the date's getting a little bit closer, and they say we had to postpone it for like 1 to 2 weeks. Okay. So meanwhile, this ulcer is doing nothing but giving them pain. We have to treat this wound at home. We have to do wound care is what we call it, where we have to wrap or put a pad, like a pad of, I want to say like gauze, but I don't think that's right. It's just like a pad. And then you have to wrap it in gauze. And we had to do this every single day. Not let this wound get infected anymore. So the surgery got postponed. We've been taking care of this ulcer for 3 years. And I'm jumping around a little bit, so I apologize, guys. And these details may not be 100% accurate. I'm just going off memory for a lot of things here. Anyway, surgery comes around. He has it. 12 hours he was in there. 12 hours. We literally watched the daytime staff leave. Excuse me while I take a drink of water here. Got through his surgery okay. They repaired the aneurysm here, got rid of some of the blockages. Okay, now it's time to go home and heal and kind of see what that leg does. He got home latter part of January, and no more that he got home. It was like 2 to 3 days. His wife, so my husband's stepmom, had to go into the hospital. She just wasn't feeling good. Like I said, I'm trying to keep some details of this private. But they said you have, she couldn't, she acted like she was choking, if that makes sense. When she's and she has health problems prior to all this too. She's had health problems all her, majority of her life, so, you know. She goes to the hospital, and they said you had this and this. She had some blood clots in her lungs. They were little ones. She had a little bit of pneumonia, and like I said, she's got a bunch of, excuse me. Had a bunch of other health problems on top of that. I won't get into too much details on those just because trying to move the story along so it's not, I'm not here for, you know, a long time. But anyway, they sent her home after like a week or two of being in the hospital. I can't remember the exact many days, but she wasn't acting right, guys. She was confused when she got home, and they said being in the hospital sometimes can confuse you, but she just wasn't acting right still. So we called the ambulance. They took her back in. She ended up having like sepsis. She had an heart failure as well, which hit close to home because we just lost grandma in November because of that. February, try not to cry. February rolls around and we lost her. Sorry. So February comes around and we lost her. My throat's dry. I apologize. And we lost her. So that's like 3 people in like a couple of months span. Meanwhile, his leg, my father-in-law's leg, is not getting any better. So he said, and he's been giving this a couple of years, like since his ulcer, you know, was prominent and it just wasn't getting better. So it's been a couple of years in the making, like thought. It wasn't just like a snap decision. It was, you know, he put in thought into it, and he, you know, kind of weighed the pros and cons, and he said, I want to get this leg amputated because his ulcer is just huge, guys, and we have to take care of it every single day, and he's in pain every single day. It's hard to watch somebody you love go for pain, and you just can't help them. And, sorry. Okay, anyway, I'm trying to collect myself here. And anyways, so he said, I'm going to get it amputated. And, you know, the hospital kind of, well, you know, do you really want to do that? And they kind of hum-hoed around a little bit, you know, kind of yanked him on a chain. And so I'm going to put it for a little while. And he finally just said, I'm getting it amputated. Okay. A couple weeks ago, he was running a fever. And we took him to the hospital because we just could not get that fever down. And he had an infection in one of his incisions. They eventually told us it was a staph infection. And I don't know how familiar everybody is on here with staph infections, but they are hard to get rid of. There's a debate on whether it was... The hospital wants to say it was like, because you have staph on your skin like all the time, but the hospital wants to say, well, it could have been like on your skin beforehand. There's some debate thinking maybe it was on the graft they used for his major surgery. That's a whole nother story that I don't want to get into tonight. But anyways, it's a staph infection. Okay. So... now we have him home after several days in the hospital. He has a PICC line, like right here, where we have to give him antibiotics at a certain time every single day. That's a whole process. Like, it's a syringe, got to put it in there. He has to be on that for about 6 weeks. And then he's got his leg bandaged. We need to change every single day because that ulcer's still there too. Because we're trying to get this infection under control. Hopefully it's in one localized area and we can cure it. If not, it might be a lifelong thing, they said. Hopefully it's not. But anyways, so we had to do the antibiotics every day. We had to change his leg dressing every single day, and then he also has a drainage tube coming out of here where the infection was. Okay, so it was like an infection in like a incision near his groin area, and so he has a drainage tube there that we have to empty every single day and write down until his next appointment at the hospital, and hopefully we can get that drainage tube removed. So then we have to go in once a week to an infusion center where they have to change the dressing on the PICC line and do labs every single day. So the debate right now, or what we're doing right now, is 6 weeks for the syringe antibiotics. Luckily, no needles, no IV bags, but it is a syringe of antibiotics with a solution, or saline solution that you need to wash out once before and then once after. So yeah, we have to do all that once a day. We have to go into infusion center once a week. His first one will be here soon. And then once we get this under control, we're talking about, or he told the doctor, his main doctor, that he wants to, you know, get the leg amputated because the guys, it's just not going to get better. Like, and it may get better, but I'm talking about like years down the road and possibly several more surgeries. And he decided that he didn't want to go that route, and I do not blame him. 3 years of this, it's enough. He's fully prepared to lose his foot. It's like, show you guys, I'm barefoot, so please excuse me, but it's like right here, okay? Back of the leg, and it kind of wraps around here, so he can't even wear like a normal tennis shoe anymore. But if they would amputate, they're talking about like kind of like right below the knee here, but like right about here. So he is fully prepared to lose his foot. We got him a wheelchair, and then eventually he will have a prosthetic made. We just got to get this infection under control first, hopefully. Like I was saying, it's in one localized spot. And the strong antibiotics, like it is strong stuff, can kill that infection, and it's not a lifelong thing. And then that'll be that. Because if it is a lifelong thing, he will switch from like the syringe antibiotics to taking a pill every single day, which sucks. But anyway, we're praying that it's just in that one area and these antibiotics can kill it, and we don't have to worry about that. And then we will focus on the amputation of the leg. That will be a process. Just going over there every day, and obviously we're over there every day anyway. Me and my husband are in a situation where we're with, once again, family, friends that can do this every single day, which is nice. My husband is like a rock throughout this whole thing. But hopefully, like I was saying, they can get killed out with that antibiotics. His staph is so hard to get rid of, guys. And then we can focus on the amputation of the foot. And then he has his wheelchair, and he has a ramp already to the house, so that's good. We'll get that all done, and then we can get on the road to healing him and having him feel better. And I'm hoping for good things in the future because we really need it. Like I said, it's hard just watching family suffer or friends suffer, and you just can't do nothing for them. And then you gotta wait like long periods of times when you gotta go to like get hospital appointments. Like it's not like you make an appointment for like a consultation to get a surgery done. It's not like, sometimes it's not even like next week. It's, well, next month. This month, like maybe later this month, you know, it just kind of depends on their availability and all that fun stuff. I kind of gave you guys kind of like a quick, even though it wasn't very quick, but like quick lowdown on everything. That's where I've been. This takes up a lot of my time because I'm helping my husband with everything, wound dressings and all that, and appointments. Like I said, we got to go to an infusion clinic once a week until he's done with the antibiotics. So that's like 6 weeks. I think I told you guys 6 weeks of this. So it is what it is. We do it for family, you know, and we keep our faith, and we're just taking it one day at a time. I know that was kind of a long-winded explanation for you guys, but I just kind of wanted to come on here and explain to you why I'm absent a lot of the times. And I ask you for your patience and understanding, because sometimes I am just not going to be able to be on here because I'm tired at the end of the night after everything. Like, I am tired. And I know my father-in-law is tired too. And like I said, guys, I'm not getting paid anything for YouTube. This is just all for fun. I don't have any sponsorships or nothing. I've lost a few subscribers already, but it is what it is. I mean, whatever. Grand scheme of things, that doesn't matter to me, as long as he can feel better. But with the help of our family and friends, we've been going through this journey and keeping our faith, like I was saying, and one day at a time. And now that you guys kind of know what's going on, I'm gonna go back to doing makeup here soon as things kind of balance out and slow down a little bit, hopefully. I mean, they're not gonna slow down anytime soon, but I can kind of figure out days where I can film and get it up, because guys, sometimes filming, I can get a video done and then it'll take like an hour to upload. So I'm talking about a couple of hours back here doing a video, getting it uploaded to the computer, putting it on YouTube, and that takes a couple of hours. So it's not just done in 15-20 minutes. It doesn't work that way. So yeah, next time you guys see me, I will be on here. It's either going to be like a makeup look or doing like maybe like a review on what I used to like remove my makeup. I was thinking about doing that kind of a video, but I wanted to get this video done for you guys to give you like an explanation on where I've been. Because I've been gone for a while and sometimes that's just going to happen. So bear with me. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and watching, and just sticking with me. Appreciate it. That's going to be it for me today. Next time you see me, like I said, it'll be kind of a more lighthearted makeup video, or maybe like a makeup remover that I use type of thing. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and head out for the day because this is a long video and I'm going to try to get it up for you guys tonight too. And I will see you guys soon in the next video. Bye guys.